What's up, everybody? Welcome to Culture Exchange, the show where we talk about topics that need to be discussed. My name's Derek Henry, representing Jamaica. And next to me is my lovely co-host.
Thank you, Stop. My name is Denise, and I'm from Zimbabwe. And to my right are my lovely ladies.
Oh, you go first.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I'm Spanish and Mozambican.
Hi, my name's Addie. I am about as white as they come, and I'm from Georgia.
Hi, I'm Lou. I'm Mexican, but mainly from LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm Matt, and I'm Italian and Panamanian from LA.
All right, so today I have a very exciting topic that I want to talk about because we have such a diverse cast today. And I'm really proud of that. And so one thing that I get a lot with all of my international friends is dating outside your race, your culture, your religion. How does that affect you? So I know that you're of Jamaican descent and you lived in Atlanta. So how is that for you? Have you experienced that?
Absolutely. So for me, I just date women. So I don't look, you have to be this race, this religion. For me, it's a vibe, it's a connection. It's, just the way we go about life with each other. And sometimes, I've dated outside my race. I've dated Hispanics, I've dated white women, and I've gotten a lot of shit for it. From times dating a white woman, being in Charleston, South Carolina, and she loses friends from dating a black guy. From having some of my friends like, bro, why you not dating a black girl? I'm like, I just date a woman that I feel a connection with. But in today's society, that's not okay, unfortunately. It's a lot of judgment, it's a lot of negative input on that. So I've experienced that. Have any of y'all ever experienced that in your dating history?
Definitely. I'm from Georgia. Are you serious?
No, yeah, the South, I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you. I had one, well, actually not one, but I'm the same way. I would date somebody for their soul, their personality, for who they are. There's nothing that has to do with the color of their skin. I've never looked at you as a person, but I was raised that way. However, from where I come from, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. There's that small town, especially from a small town, if people hear about your business, they want to talk about it because they have nothing else to do. I remember even in high school, I had my first interracial relationship, and I hid it from my parents because of stories I've heard them talk about families disowning their kids, taking them out of the will, and I have personal friends that have been disowned before and now reconnecting with their family. So there is a reconnection, but at that time I think it's just the culture shock, and if for some reason it's that generation, they're programmed differently. They've been, imagine, as kids we're told don't get in a car with strangers, constantly over and over again. What do? Get in a car with strangers every day. Uber, exactly. Sponsorship here. But seriously, I remember my first interracial relationship. It was very strong and bold, exciting, and my principal even got involved and called him into the office and made a comment about how I don't think it's wise that you're dating Addie. And my parents found out, and they were just like, listen, I don't want you to be the talk of the town. It wasn't anything that was aggressive, but it was one of those, I think they were trying to protect me in the sense from the judgment and criticism that does come with it. And I used to work at a hip hop studio too in Orlando, and I dated men of different races, and I was just like, I don't care, but sometimes it matters to them too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the same, it goes both ways. There's different risk in dating outside your race. Absolutely. But there's also the excitement of, well, this is my connection. Why would I mess it up just because of something as shallow as a color?
Exactly.
So Christina, how do you feel about it?
My experience, my father is white and my mom's black, and it's just a different culture. And she's not just black, but she's from Africa. We have a lot of culture and tribal stuff, and when it comes to you marrying outside of your own race, it's kind of frowned upon a little, because a white person will never understand our culture. Denise, you can relate. They don't understand that. So growing up, it was just like, do I stick to, when I want to date, do I stick to the black people because that's the ones I relate to and grew up around, or do I venture out and date a white man? But I'm kind of in that place where I'm like, you wouldn't understand how I was raised and what my expectations are and so on and so forth. So I kind of shied away from dating outside like the black race, basically.
With both of y'all, you know, what y'all said, it was a great point. I'm about to come to you
No,
because
for sure.
the South, you know, it's a big culture thing. Africa, of course, a big culture thing.
Yeah.
I've known living out here on the West Coast, you really don't get that much. Like I don't get that much
Yeah.
drama. Like how is it out here?
Can I?
No, go ahead.
I have the opposite experience where I love dating. I want to date a woman of every race at one point in time, like so I can like. It's a great way to
why
learn.
not?
You learn.
I'm with you, bro. I ain't mad at it.
Like you learn about other cultures. I'm more of like instead of like kind of you're not gonna understand. It's like let me like try. You know what I mean? Like I like showing up to the Christmas and Thanksgiving things and people looking at me like the fuck. You know? I'll be like nah, but I'm cool. You know? We're all the same shit really at the end of the day, and so I like it. I think it's fun. There is, you know, like my family is a little prejudiced too, but I love shit like that. So like if I
Like
were to bring,
interracial?
like if I were to bring someone to Thanksgiving and it's just like, what's up with that? I don't know. I'm the type of guy where I love stewing in that and just all the eyes.
I want that attention. So you
Stirs the pot.
you want to
a
walk
little bit.
down with the girl.
Watches
and
chaos unfold.
Okay.
Show up to the Christmas party like, what's good?
That's me and my chick. I like it.
Matt, how do you feel?
Yeah, like I said, out here it's not. I don't get too much flack for dating outside my race. Like my Italian side of the family, they don't give a shit at all. But it's my Panamanian side that are kind of like, they're like, we want you to like, if it's gonna, you know, they knowing I'm mixed, so they're like, well, if it's gonna be like a white girl, then it'd be a white girl. But if it was a Hispanic girl, then that's what they want. But it's just like, and I'm not mad at that at all. But you know, I'm out here. You know, there's so many different people to like talk to, so it's kind of I don't want to just talk to like white girls or Hispanic girls. Like everyone's fair game and really.
And that's how it is on the West Coast. I mean, at least that's what I've experienced. Like being from the South, like I said, it is a big, and like you said, you can relate to it. It is a big thing on what's the color of the person you're dating. Such a big thing, and it's crazy. I like the West Coast because you don't have to deal with that as much. Have you kind of experienced that being out here?
Yeah, dating in Zimbabwe, it was, well, I was in high school, so it wasn't as stressful, but I had the same situation in Addie. My first boyfriend was mixed, so we say colored, which is not racist in my country. So Christina is considered as colored, right? So I'm black, colored, and white. That's how I would explain the races. So he was colored. It's so simple, right? I know. Oxford Dictionary, find that. But I'm black, and my boyfriend was colored, just like Christina, and so black people were very welcoming. They didn't care who I was dating, but then the colored side tried to beat me up because I'm black. So they
That's
had
happened.
a problem.
My
with
sister,
me.
not my sister, my mom had to deal with that as a teacher, as third graders, even third graders had that. Yeah, so basically she would notice, and that was one of her justifications for why she was like, I feel so bad for the children because they get bullied the most.
Yeah.
Especially the color kids, because the white kids don't really accept them, and the black kids don't really accept them. So they're kind of their own. They can only protect themselves.
Exactly.
And that she would see the worst things be done as they'd be outcasted from everyone else, and it wasn't fair. And she was like, I just really don't want to see a kid go through that. And I'm like, well, that's not your decision. But at the same time, I understand where your thought process comes from because it's not fair at all.
Because you're a parent. For me, the difference is in Africa, I don't think it's too big. Yes, it's there because in every country there is an issue when it comes to race. So I'm not going to lie and say it's not. But America, I just feel that it's more diverse because here you're Panamanian and Italian and this and this. In Africa, you're just black or black with a little bit of this, but it's not that crazy. You're half and half. But here it's like I'm 1/8 this, 1/4 this, 2/5. I'm like, stop breaking into fractions. But point is, I just feel.
I want to do a 5-minute intro.
Going back to what you said about in Zimbabwe, because I also met Denise when we were younger in Zimbabwe. It's like the division between black, whites, and colored, and it's like the coloreds think they should just date other coloreds, and then when you see a black and colored person, they're like, ooh, like do they really mix?
Yes, like,
more than it is for a black and a white person. It's more normal for a black and a white person than a colored and black, because people think like colors probably want to date the white race instead of the black, so it's like taboo.
I could see
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
And you
in
thought
Amer-
we'd be closer, but we're not.
Here it's a lot different. You know, just dating interracial pairs becoming more common
Yeah.
in today's society. So the problems and a lot of issues with it is becoming more common. And one thing I have noticed, you know, what you would say colored, you know, we would say mixed or white mother,
Yeah.
black father, or vice versa. Like that mixed or colored person. In America, it's like you can date the black side or the white side. It doesn't matter. You're getting no judgment.
Yeah,
like it's
I
like
know.
you're winning. You're winning. You're good no matter what
Yeah.
you do.
Like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So I get to like.
You get
Yeah,
a
you
pass.
can, and you don't. You're not gonna get as much judgment because it's like
Yeah.
I
I'm
get
both.
to, yeah.
I can choose what side I want, and
Yeah.
you're winning.
Yeah.
You have nothing to worry about. Date who your heart tells you to date. Forget a skin color. Forget a race. Where they're from. None of that matters. Only thing that matters is your heart and love.
Yeah.
Outside of that, don't nothing else matter. Date who you want to date.
Yep.
That's it.
Can't touch on after that. That was beautiful.
It was so beautiful. That's true.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what we
I
want.
True.
Don't let society stop. Thank you so much for listening to our rants. We really appreciate you, and get ready to see more episodes from us.